Hello.
Hello.
My dogs just decided to start a fight. I was like, oh, I'm gonna sit in my dining room.
Nice.
And they looked at each other and like, all right, we're gonna start to fight, but you're gonna calm down.
They're like children that never grow up.
But these two, yeah, I'm convinced no. And if you didn't hear, I got a third dog. Yes.
How'd you do that?
Well, I feel like I'm becoming Justine.
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna say it
actually-
just showed up. I don't know how it came here. I don't know what happened.
well, that's what my mom said. She goes, "You get a third dog. I'm not walking them."
Oh
I'm like, well, this son of a bitch is completely blind.
man.
So,
What's up, Vincenzo?
Yo,
What's
hey,
happening,
nice
brother?
sweatshirt.
what's up? How you like this?
It's great. I
Nice,
was actually
right?
wearing that today, and so was Heather. Young Heather was wearing it.
I
I
was
like this.
I've never been a fan of crew necks until we did our own.
I love our crew necks.
They're really nice. I like them.
A crew necks over hoodies any day for me.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
I'll take the hoodie all day.
Is that like a big man thing?
Maybe. I love crew necks.
No shit. I always
Yeah.
I never knew what to do with my hands, but then like with the crew necks and the pants now, like the
You
black
got pockets, bro.
That's what I mean. Now I feel like whenever I put my hands in the pants, I'm like, man, I look fucking it's a cool look. I dig it.
Yeah. Yeah, I gave my dad the same sweatsuit and he's like, "Oh, there's no pocket here." I said, "Dad, you got fucking pockets in your pants." He said, "Oh, all right." He loves the jumpsuits.
For sure. Were you drinking a little coffee?
No, hell no.
I know
Fucking
what you were
eight
doing.
o'clock.
I never
Tea.
know. These
Is
are
he
fucking-
Dean? No, he's Vincenzo.
there's so many
Tea.
stim junkies around here. I'm like, so the word on
I'm
the
not
street,
one, bro.
word on the street was we were having so we're doing all these different product innovations here, like new different pre-workouts, a couple concepts that we've been working on, energy drinks, things like that. And I was like, I never realized how many people are fucking stim junkies. Like, I mean, like, bro,
Yeah, yeah, it's bad.
drinking like, what's up, Keone? There's people that were drinking
Yeah.
like 3 energy drinks a day around here, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Talking about meat stick?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, like, dude,
He looked at me today. He goes, "Do I have the third one?" I go, "Do you feel it?" And he was like, "No." I'm like, maybe you should do what Heather did and have no caffeine, at least for a while. And he was like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm like, all right,
that's
John.
like 1,000 milligrams.
bro, we brought in the Australian videographer we had, Aussie Matt.
Oh,
Dude was drinking, he was drinking 7th gear, like at breakfast. Like that was his coffee, was 7th gear. And
Oh,
then
that's not
he
good.
drank like 2 to 3 energy drinks a day, like 3 energy drinks at least 5 days in a row. I watched him do.
Oh,
And
that's
I'm
not
like,
good.
so I had this idea in our product innovation meeting. I'm like, I think we should just make like a fuck you pre-workout. Like the worst stimulants known to man, put them all in a pre-workout and sell it to these stim junkies. Kind of goes against my moral ethics as a bodybuilder and as someone caring about people's health, but I never knew how many stim junkies there were.
Oh, people are psycho.
Yeah.
They are. They're nuts.
Gotta please everybody.
you want to speak, Martin?
Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. Well, everybody, Carly, I'll let you have at the intro here for everybody.
Much appreciated. Wow. It's week 8. This is the last week. This is the last Wednesday night webinar.
Check in.
Wow.
Coming in hot.
Wild to think about. But tonight we have Martin, we have Keone, we have Vincenzo, and we have Seth for week 8. We have one more webinar left, which is tomorrow. But tonight, you guys have some questions. I sent them to Seth earlier. But this is it. We're going on week 8. And, if I have one thing to say, it's look at those initial photos and you guys will be surprised. So with leaning into that, Seth, do you want to lead from here?
Absolutely. everybody, thank you for doing this challenge. We have been looking through some of the pictures. We've been paying attention to the Facebook group and all that happy stuff. And there are some people that have made drastic changes. Drastic. So drastic that a couple of them we were wondering if they're photoshopped. So I mean, it is pretty wild to see people's changes. And again, like last year, there's people coming out of the woodwork that we really didn't see this entire time, and we're like, holy shit. So it is awesome to see, and none of us want you guys to stop. Please don't stop at the end of the challenge. If you you've made all these drastic changes in your life, these modifications to your daily routine, you can't stay on the fucking 100-mile-an-hour train the whole entire time, but do not just jump off and go back to your old ways. And that's some of the questions that we have here tonight. So might as well dive right into it, and then we'll all take swings at different questions. Everybody gets a different opinion and go from there. First question on here was, do we need to make the final photos like the initial photos, meaning the angle, the light, the look? Personally, like I know these three other gentlemen here on this call will tell you, it is always best to keep things as consistent as possible. Same start that you were in, same lighting, the angle. That way we can get the best comparison photos from beginning to end. However, it's not the end of the world if you don't do that. But that's in the beginning. That's why I was like, make sure you find the best lighting in the house. But again, you've made drastic changes and you might have found somewhere better in the house. Like, fuck yeah, I look way better here. Use that spot. But it's always best to keep things as consistent as possible. I think you all agree, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
This next one here, are the winners only picked based on who's been active on social media? Absolutely not. Obviously, we would love you guys to make sure that you always support and stay as active as possible in supporting people, putting yourself out there like so many people have. But we had someone last year, I think, I can't remember her name. She took second in the female category. Nobody saw her. What's that?
I think, well, no. Oh, the second place. Can't remember. I'm gonna have to look.
But I remember there was one woman that because Melissa Biddle won, but there was one woman that came out of nowhere that we're like, she hasn't been on social media at all, and she made a wild transformation. So no, where we go, that's why we go through every single photo. But it's also, we encourage you to stay active on social media. That's all. But no, it's not based on that. All right. I'll ask this next one here. Carly, you can help. Is there a way we can post extra poses on our check-ins since it's the final week? I think there is like an extra photo for poses, correct? Like we have a front, side, back, and then I think the extra pose, right? There's fourth one.
That you can upload up to 12 is either 10 or 12 photos to your check that you have in every week. So if you really want to, and if you want to pose more and feel different angles, go ahead.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, we'll look
Do
at
everything, but don't show us your balls or your vaginas or tits or anything like that. We don't need that. We don't need HR problems. Keep the tips in the pants. Carly saw a tip last year. It just kind of found its way out.
Yep.
That was purpose. That was definitely purpose.
All right, jumping into these ones, you guys can help with these. They're asking questions like if they decide to take their photos in the morning, do you think it's best to take the photos fasted? Do you think it's best to take the photos after you do cardio or after you do lift or before you do cardio or before you lift? What's your guys' take on the best to get your best final photos to look the best you can?
I'll just do it fasted. If you've been doing fasted already with nothing on your stomach before you do cardio, just keep it the same versus doing it after cardio. Because I noticed when you do take check-in pictures after cardio, you do look better because you're drier from the sweat. But I'll say just do it fast as soon as you wake up. If you've already been doing it that way, just keep it the same.
Yeah, I'd say just consistency. So if you've always done it after cardio, do it after cardio. If you've always done it before, do it before.
Yeah, I wouldn't change much if you've been doing it the same way. Like these guys said, keep it consistent. For me personally, post workout, I know I look the damn best. So maybe take a couple, after your workout, see how you look in some good lighting. But for this challenge, I would just keep it consistent. So us judges here and all the people that got to pick the winner, see some consistency there.
For sure. I said this last week, and as Martin was saying, I just thought of it. You could take 2 different photos at different times. You can take it like first thing when you wake up, you could be like, fuck yeah, I'm going to take my photos here and then not send them in, and then take photos after you do cardio or train and be like, which ones look better? And then pick the ones that look better and then send those ones in. You're not cheating the system. You're just being a thinker. Whenever you're doing all those things, and even progress pictures personally, like all the things that you guys see me post in the morning, like post cardio, and I'm like, yeah, look at my abs coming because I'm in shape now. I always do that post cardio. So that's like how I'm able to judge. I have tons of different pictures of me post cardio in my phone that I'm like, okay. And I go back and look at the timestamps and I'm like, okay, I know that this was a Monday morning or a Thursday morning because I'd look better or a little watery or anything based on what I did that morning. So I kept it consistent with when I'm taking my photos to make the best judgment. So keeping it consistent is the best thing to do. Okay, this one, how do you, how's that one? How do you find maintenance calories to keep yourself from gaining all the weight? Okay, so this one is the rebound. How do you stop yourself from gaining all the weight back that you just lost after a challenge or show or anything like that is over? How do you control the rebound?
Who going first?
Let's take a swing.
Who's first?
I'm talking to someone else.
So I would say the biggest thing is discipline here, guys. You took 8 weeks to learn a habit, and now you need to take that habit and apply it. All these little things like prepping your meals, being consistent. You made all those little things habits. Now you just need to hold on to those. And I would say the biggest thing that you have to really focus on here is to try to not be food driven. So a lot of people, when you come out of a diet or things like that, you want to try to reward yourself with food. I would try to keep that to a minimum, and I would try to use food as more of a thinking about it as a fuel source. So like you're going to do a cheat meal before leg day to make sure that the leg day is fueled and that you can train your hardest, versus saying like, oh, I had a hard leg day, now I get a cheat meal. Because then tomorrow you had a hard back day and you get a cheat meal too. So, just try to plan those things and then lean on discipline when it gets hard.
I agree. Good point. Anybody have anything to add?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
go.
go. Me? You.
There you go, bro.
All right. No, so basically Martin, really touched on it, obviously, 8 weeks, being on that diet, having that discipline, even for us guys, after a show, I've made the crucial mistake of, binging after a show. And I think I was in a legit, no joke, like a food coma. I was almost driven to the hospital. So definitely don't just go to your favorite couple spots, pig out and do some crazy shit. But look at your diet that you've been following the past, 6-8 weeks, whatever it was, maybe even longer. And if it was 3,000 calories, just gradually increase, every week with that. Add 200 calories a week, 300 calories, a day for the week, another 500 calories, and then just gradually increase from there. Because I'm sure these guys have some stories, after a show, and you go out with some friends or some family and you go crazy and you feel like absolute shit. So try and just control yourself and slowly gradually increase those calories.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it. Just slowly increase the calories, and also, you guys, since you guys doing the challenge and you are trying to get as lean as possible, don't stop your cardio. Just keep your cardio going, because a lot of people, okay, I'm shredded, I'm peeled. Okay, cool. I'm gonna stop everything, and I'm gonna just up my food. Still keep that cardio in, because I made a mistake plenty of times where my face would blow up in one day because I binged eating. I stopped drinking water or just stuff like that. Even stopped doing cardio. So keep your cardio in, you guys. Don't just, get comfortable because you look really good, and just make it into a lifestyle after those 8 weeks is over with.
100% agree with all of you. Keone made a solid point there. Don't stop doing cardio. Like if you were like, say you didn't listen to anything that these guys just said and you fucked up royally and went and ate garlic bread, you went and ate pounds of pasta, cheesecake, ice cream, the whole nine. Whatever you do, that doesn't mean that like the world has ended and you're done with everything. Wake up the next morning and do your cardio. If you didn't screw up and you did a good job and you went and had a nice meal or something like that, still wake up and do your cardio. Your body has been balanced so long on cardio, fluids, regiment, everything. If you just go and completely disregard it all, you're fucked. It's exactly what you did, because all of us, all four of us, have done that post show and our ankles have swelled. We have all gotten chubby faces in the day and been like, man, how is that even possible? It's because it was such a drastic action that your body went anywhere. And like Vincenzo say, eating yourself into a coma. Yeah. The one show I remember, it was after Dallas. I was so thirsty, it was out of control. So thirsty. I was dehydrated to all hell. And like we had to pull water really hard to make weight. And I remember after the show, I was just sitting there and Hani looked at me and he's like, dude, he's like, what are you thinking about? I'm like, I'm thinking about ice cold fucking iced tea, dude. Ice cold iced tea. And he's like, oh no. And I'm like, what? And he's like, do not drink your weight in iced tea. And I'm like, I'm fucking going to. And fortunately I was in Texas. So the next day all I did was sweat and it wasn't too bad. But I remember having such a distended belly from it. It was crazy. So when it comes to this personally, guys, there are foods that you've been thinking about this whole time. There are things that you've been dreaming about, whether it's Doritos or, chocolate or a meal or whatever it is. Go enjoy yourself, but understand that if you go overboard, expect a drastic reaction.
Right.
And it's not going to be the greatest.
Right. And you haven't been eating junk food, so just remember how bad your digestion is going to be.
I think it was today I walked in the snack room and it was John who was like, wow, look at those cookies. They say soft cookies. And I was like, wow, they really do. I'm like, this tuna packet looks great. This is awesome. As him and Dean are getting like rice cakes, I'm like, okay, guys.
Mm-hmm. No, but yeah, it's moderation is key at this point. And I know it sounds dumb because you've been moderating yourself for so long and all that, but me, it's like, just go enjoy the meal, but don't go overboard. If you're like, hey, I want to go have sushi and get a milkshake, go have sushi and get a milkshake. You want to have pizza, go have a pizza. But if you eat 10 pieces, expect 10 pieces to do some work on you. Oh, this guy said, after I check in, dine on Krispy Kremes. Man, people are sweet people. Sweets. You're a sweet guy, right, Keone?
No? I crave Pop-Tarts a lot, dude.
Really?
Like on prep wise, yeah, it is Pop-Tarts, to be honest. I don't know why. It's just Pop-Tarts.
What kind of Pop-Tarts?
Fuck, dude. The cookie dough, chocolate chip cookie dough is pretty fire.
No shit.
Yes, bro.
No shit. My daughter, so Adeline, Hannah's pretty strict about doing pretty quality food, really good quality food throughout the house. We still have our snacks and all that happy shit, but Hannah is like, breakfast foods, dude, you're not eating shit for breakfast. Like, she's a no-go on eating trash breakfast. So Adeline and her got into a little quarrel about Pop-Tarts. She's like, Adeline was giving her shit like, hey, she's like, you didn't buy any Pop-Tarts. And Hannah's like, I'm not buying Pop-Tarts. Adeline's like, I want Pop-Tarts in the morning for breakfast. And Hannah's like, no. And I'm like, man, this is gonna get heated. It's like you two are gonna fucking start screaming at each other. I'm excited. And but it turned out that she was like, she's like, you're not eating bullshit first thing in the morning. But Adeline was a huge fan of the hot fudge sundae as a kid. Because my ass, I gave in to her all the time. I was like, yeah, you can have Pop-Tarts. I love you. Martin, are you a sweet guy?
Yeah, man, I'm a fat shit.
Really?
Bro, you know how much Coca-Cola I drink?
Yeah, I know, but that's like, I don't know.
Like, that's not a sweet.
Yeah, I don't consider that a sweet. I consider that like just pop. Like,
Pop-Tart.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I eat ice cream like probably like 4 days a week.
what kind of ice cream you into then? Like loose tracks or some shit?
I get Bluebell because it's made in Texas.
It's really creamy, isn't it? I heard about this ice
Yeah,
cream. It's delicious.
It's
Are you like a fruity ice cream, or are you like chocolatey and peanut buttery and shit?
I'm more of like a chocolatey and a peanut buttery, and
Yeah.
they do have a pistachio one that's really good.
What are you, 60?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, pistachio.
What do you got, Vincenzo?
Vincenzo,
I'm an everything guy. I'm an everything guy.
500 pounds. He's huge.
Fucking everything. I'm about to have some banana bread right now, actually.
Dude, I'm big banana bread fan. Huge banana bread.
Yeah.
Banana
I like
homemade.
Fucks.
What's that?
Good banana bread fuck.
Oh yeah, hard, dude.
Yeah.
This is the best of the best right here.
Big fan. So here, we'll do a story or two for everybody. After a show, you guys have competed many times. So after a show, what is like one spot that you went to that you were just like over the top? I'm in. This is my shit.
I guess I'll start here. I'll tell the story about the fucking incident. So after the show, it was a Long Island show. I don't even remember the year. It was one of my first shows. Me and my sister took me to the show, took me home. What do you want to eat? I was like, let's go to Friendly's. I had a friend working at Friendly's at the time. So we get to Friendly's. I get the melt. It's like a crispy chicken sandwich with all the cheese, all the fixings, bacon, fries, all that kind of stuff. We had appetizers, mozzarella sticks, all that. All this stuff that you guys should not be eating after the show, or especially after this challenge.
Bunch of fried
and then
foods.
Obviously, fried foods. And then after that, my friend who was working there came out with this like crazy sundae, fucking bananas on it, all different flavors, crazy. It was huge. And I felt like obligated to finish because I haven't had it in so long. I just started dieting. I didn't have a coach or anything like that to tell me not to. And it was bad. I literally, got very, very dizzy, nauseous. My sister had to drive me home. And I was really close to going to the hospital. It was bad, but it was probably like 5,000-6,000 calories in a shot, right after the show, which was not smart.
Cool.
But I could live to tell the story.
Damn.
My shit's terrible.
Never did that again.
Can eat after a show or something when you've been dieting for so long, it's pizza. I had pizza after Junior USA when I turned pro. And I don't know if some of you guys that's watching this know, his name was Matt Porter. He was a coach. And when I passed away, and he challenged me to eat a pizza. And the pizza was real big. It wasn't like no personal pan pizza or Pizza Hut pizza. It was like an actual restaurant. And so it was really huge ass pieces. Like one slice looked like fucking 3 slices. Like that pizza, Martin, that we ate at Serious Pizza. It looks like that. And I ate that whole fucking thing, man. And a half a box of Pop-Tarts and some potato chips on the way into the hotel.
Oh my God.
I think I remember, bro, the show was Friday. That Sunday, I was like 20 pounds up. It was terrible.
Without a doubt.
Oh,
ankles were huge, bro.
Yeah.
I couldn't even fit my shoes. It was terrible. Never again.
So I had a Seth Feroce cut to make my first national show. I was going to make light heavyweights. And I was probably like in condition at like 206. So I still had 8 pounds to go. So to make weight, we did 0 carbs, 0 fat, and 2 hours of stair mill every day for 20 days going into the show.
Oh, ouch.
And I just like, dude, I was like having dreams that I was like cheating in the middle of the night. Like I would wake up and like make myself puke because I was scared that I cheated because I dreamed about eating something and shit.
God.
It was crazy. So I get done and my coach is like, don't do anything stupid. So the first night we went and I ate like 3 burgers and he was with me. So he was like, all right, enough is enough. Like that's, you gotta be done. Don't go crazy. So I was like, all right. So we went back to the hotel and I probably ate a bunch more junk. But then the next morning I got up and I wasn't too much up in weight because I was so depleted. But then I went psycho. So we went to breakfast and I ate like 4 entrees. And then I went like straight from the breakfast place. We went to a fast food place and I got like as much shit as I could handle.
Oh my God.
And then we had like a 6-hour drive and I went into a gas station and I bought every single thing I wanted. So I got like literally like I spent $70 in the gas station.
I've been there.
And I ate it all. So I calculated it up. I think it was like 32 to 35,000 calories in a like 48-hour period. So I got back to my coach's house and I was up like 24 pounds in 48 hours. And he was like, oh my God, like, oh my God. And the craziest thing is like, I still had glute lines and stuff. Like I was Michelin man, but like I was so ran down that like my body wanted to hold on to it so bad, dude. It did not want to spill over anything. When it did spill though, man, I was like in the middle of a session when it finally let loose and I probably spilled like 8 pounds of water training, you know, just.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Bro, I'll never forget after the Pittsburgh show, I went and ate like a Chipotle burrito. And it wasn't Chipotle, it was a different burrito spot. But like, and then I ate something else saltier than all hell. And I just all of a sudden I watched my body like glaze over and I'm like, dude, what's happening to me right now? It was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah. Yes. Not a
so everybody, we've all done dumb shit. All of like that's the only way you learn. And now we're all like the other one that was crazy. It was at the Mr. Pittsburgh show. I was backstage and it was the first year at the Mr. Pittsburgh. They had the Pittsburgh Pro Championships and there was 202 class. So Mark Dugdale was backstage and he was like right across the hallway from me. So we laid next to each other, hung out pretty much all day, saw him. And I had a cooler with me full of my I had like Gatorade, water, and then I had a Pepsi and then like another Diet Pop. Well, Honey was having me, this was the first time Honey and I like met each other ever. And he just had me like sip on a little bit of Pepsi, like to get some of my food down. And Dugdale is fucking eyeballing me, like just eyeballing me. I'm like, hey, Mark, like, what's up? And he's like, where'd you get that Pepsi? And I'm like, there's a machine like right over there. And he's like, can I have some of that Pepsi? And I'm like, yeah, bro, you want some? He's like, yeah. So I had like little cups that my brother had got for me. And I gave him, I started pouring and he's like, man, that's delicious. He's like, where's that machine at? And I was like, oh, I'll have my brother go get you a pop. So my brother, Jake, went and got him, he wanted a root beer. Why he wanted a fucking root beer, I have no idea. He's about to go out for the night show. He took second at the show, but dude sucked down a fucking root beer like right before he went out for the night show. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? He came back and he's like, after they were done, he's like, so where was the machine? And I'm like, I wasn't there. Dude came back with another fucking root beer, slammed that one. I'm like, man, that dude was fucking, he was down, but he was ready for his root beer. So
soda junkie.
Dude, it was a riot. I was like, I'll never forget it. Never forget it. It was like the first time I was ever around pro athletes. So it was like, a culture shock. And I'm a Doug Dale fan, knew him. And he's like, just eyeballing me. I'm like, hey, dude, like, I don't know if you're fucking with me or want to kill me.
So after you've made your mistakes, now what's everyone's like favorite thing? Or like, what do you want? Like mine is a Coca-Cola. I want an ice cold Coca-Cola.
Me
Mine
personally,
just cold Gatorade, water. Just get the
just
fluids
drink.
back in.
Yeah, I would say that too.
I am a whore for peanut butter and jellies.
Okay.
Absolute whore.
Okay.
Like I
your-
will. You could put peanut butter and jelly on a rice cake, a piece of rye bread, a piece of white bread, a piece of you name it. I'm fucking eating it. You could put it on a tortilla and roll that bitch up, and I'm eating it.
Yeah.
Do you,
Love them.
do you like the Uncrustable, Seth?
Yeah, I mean, there's like I used to get them for my daughter whenever we would be on the run and stuff, and I'd always find myself like in the off season fucking eating them. I'd be like, yeah, she gets one, I get one. Dude, but yeah, that's my one vice. Like I have one peanut butter and jelly rice cake every single night of my life. Every single night.
Damn, one. How do you control yourself?
Well, again, like that's the thing. It's like on the weekends is whenever I'll eat pretzels. Like, dude, I love pretzels. Like pretzels in a diet pop. I could not drink or do any drugs or anything like that. But if you were like, pretzels and diet pop are bad for you, as bad as drugs, I'd be like, then I'm a junkie. I'm in. Not getting rid of them in my life. But those are the two things that get me. I love them. Love them.
All right.
Yeah. But a couple of things. This guy said after the challenge is done, I'm going to grill some corn steak and have and have some Jack Daniels. That's an idea. Be careful with the alcohol as well.
Yeah, one dinner, you might get drunk a lot quicker.
Oh, you'll be toasted. Toasted. But I think we answered most of the dieting questions for people. The last one was how do you manage adding carbs back into your diet? But I think we covered it. Step by step is the best thing to do. But remember this with everything. Like as you're transitioning back to like a normal life, the goal that we've been talking about every single week on here is to make this lifestyle change. Like, don't stop doing this. Like if you're not doing a show, you were like, I want to change how I do things. You've made these drastic actions. Now you need to adopt a lot of these principles that you have put into your life and maybe just not take it to the extreme. You still want to do your cardio. You still want to do your working out. You still want to be dieting, but you don't need to be dieting on 1,100 calories a day. And whenever you're adding food back in, be like, okay, I train at this time or do my cardio here. Me personally, I think adding in calories around your training time would be the most beneficial thing to do to start. Like where to add some carbohydrates pre and post workout. The next place that I would say you could add them to is at breakfast, like your first meal of the day. So I would add some carbohydrates and food around pre and post workout. And then next place I would add it to would be your first meal of the day. Those are the things that I personally do for myself. Do you guys have anything to piggyback on that?
Yeah, I mean, that's 100% what I would say. Also for you guys that are like working labor jobs, just to add into that is like that morning is something to consider, maybe even before post workout, just because you do have a really energy intensive job that's going to be taking energy from you all day. You might want to add some of those calories back first thing in the morning. But like Seth said, the things that are important, that's where you want to add the energy around. So whether it's training or work, which one is going to be the hardest for you. That's where I would start to add food, and then I would slowly trickle it in everywhere else.
But don't go back to your old ways.
Right.
Save the cheat meals and the snacks for the weekends or for
The
big
big
training days.
Like I know a lot of you guys in the labor jobs and stuff is like, you've done a good job in this challenge of staying out of the gas station buying the easy, quick, accessible stuff that a lot of times is easy to fall back into. So just make sure to like keep those habits and know also how much money you've saved probably during this challenge of not buying all the little shit that you were buying in the past.
Yeah. Good call. This person here, we'll do one more question here. We got two more. We'll do, I feel like I've hit a wall. I'm down 12% body fat, but I can't get my weight down. I'm at 195 and want to be around 185. How can I get there? Anybody want to take a swing at that first?
Yeah. With the scale, right?
Yeah, I would don't get hung up on the scale. But I would also say that maybe reevaluate. If you've been pushing really hard for a really long period of time, you've been at low calories for a really long period of time, maybe it's time to take a little step back, allow yourself a little bit more food, back off the cardio a little bit and let your central nervous system and stuff reset, and then kind of push back into things. And that might be the little bit of reset that you need. Sometimes as much as we want to push as hard as we can, sometimes the body isn't going to allow you to push any harder than you already have. And you need to take a step back.
How long would you say to take a step back for? Like if you were like, hey, pushing too hard, you need to take, how long would you say to take that time?
Yeah, I mean, usually a week will do it. I mean, sometimes if your body's really, really ran into the ground, you might have to take 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But I would say anywhere from three days to a week, and just, extra rest, whether it's a full extra rest day or whether it's deloading your training sessions to not be as intense. Or it's adding a little bit more food in. Like I said, all those things can be factors into helping your recovery and getting your body back to where it needs to be able to reset and get back into that ability to burn the fat off of your body.
Good call. I'd agree. I think it's important, like just kind of paying attention. If you need an extra rest day or two, it plays a huge role. And whenever we're talking about taking a rest day, actually take the rest day, but don't go wild on food. Rest day does not mean cheat food.
Right.
They're not the same thing. Oh man, that's a loaded one there. What is your peak week like? What do you cut out, add in? How do you deplete everything gradually? And what are the things to look out for?
Be ready early and don't fucking change a thing.
That's your motto. Be ready early and don't change anything.
Yes, that's the best way to do things.
Usually people overthink the last week, and I'm like, I can like vouch for that because I don't know. I guess for me, like I never peaked it right before. Like I can get in shape, okay. It just looks like I'm never in shape because I never peaked right because of the last week will just fuck you up completely. Look like you ain't done shit. Okay. Yep. And it's frustrating. It makes me just want to punch myself in the nose 10 times.
We just watched some of it happen at the Arnold.
Yep.
Yeah. Just a perfect example, man.
Yeah. We just watched some of it happen. Dudes were peeled 3 days out. And then all of a sudden you're like, man, what happened?
A layer of water or just whatever. This is fucked up. This is fucked up.
And the more you tinker with things, the more things that can go wrong.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like Hani's motto with me was get you in the best fucking possible shape. If you're in the best possible shape and we go to start taking out some water, he's like, the second we take out water, we have to reintroduce carbohydrates, like pretty heavily. Now, whenever you do that, like if you're not in shape, if you are not peeled, your body can freak the fuck out and hold on to things. But if you are peeled, like, I mean, like we're talking 3% body fat, like next to fucking eyes sunken into the back of your head, freak yourself out looking in the mirror. That's whenever it's like you can kind of modify things, but that doesn't mean things can't cascade and all of a sudden also go haywire. So it is a trial and error process, in my opinion. Just takes time.
100%. I mean, I think that's kind of what I mean by like be ready early. Is like, maybe that finding that groove is like you drink 2 gallons of water and the next morning you wake up super dry. Well, then that's what you do all the way into the show. you know, there's little fine tuning things, and you can try to pull Houdini tricks, but as many times as the Houdini tricks hit, they miss. So just remember that. As easy it is to look like Phil Heath, it's also easy to look like a bag of shit on stage too. So
I've been both.
yeah, yep. I think we all have in this chat. I think we've all been there. So
Definitely.
This guy here is asking, what do you guys do to get rid of water retention? Can't seem to tighten up at all, and have been dieting religiously now in a deficit for the full comp. He's pissed. I mean, to get rid of water retention, you know, there's no real, like, you can't just go taking a bunch of water pills or a bunch of fucking diuretics and expect good shit to happen. Those are Band-Aids that you're like, hey, or I wouldn't even call them Band-Aids. That's a bad way to put it. Those are pipe dreams. Like, hey, this is going to take all the water retention. Well, that water is going to fucking come back because you're telling your body to get rid of it. That drug is going to draw and pull water out of you. Me, when it comes to water, it is all about regulation of the body. Regulated hormones, regulated sodium, potassium, vitamins, minerals, of course, your water. All those things they work synergistically. So they all work together. And if you fuck with one, expect another one to go a little haywire. That's why, like, leading into shows, whenever people start manipulating their water and don't take care of their sodium properly, all of a sudden that's one of the pieces of puzzle that'll just get thrown in and fuck everything up. The more regulated and regimented all of those things are, whenever I say that, like, I am consistent with my water every day. I'm consistent with my hormone levels are consistent. My water is consistent. The amount of sodium I take in every day is consistent. Everything is consistent. Then I'm able to gauge and judge myself of what I look like, and your body operates on a better level, and you're not really retaining water at that point. At that point, if you are perfect with everything, that's how you look based on what the fuck you do with yourself. Would you guys have to agree?
yep.
100%.
So if you do those things well and do them like, I mean, that's why I do my cardio every single morning. My body is recognizing that I'm about to sweat my fucking ass off. And then I have to make sure I drink my regular amount of water that I drink every single day. Routine. So I just make sure that you're taking in the same amount of water every day, roughly a gallon. Drinking or taking in the same amount of sodium every day, making sure your hormones are on point. When I say sodium, don't eat a ton of sodium at every single meal. Just be consistent across the board and don't take in no sodium. Your body needs sodium. If you take out sodium and think you're going to look better, that's not going to work. You're going to look like shit 3 days later because your body's going to grab a hold of the sodium and hold on to it, never fucking let it go, and you're going to retain water.
Yep, sound like somebody I know, Martin. You know who.
So be as routine as possible. And then that's how, like the Houdini tricks that Martin was speaking of, like, that's how those work. Like, all of a sudden we're like, okay, if we're doing a water load and we're consistent with our water, the second we take it out, your body's going to be like, good, let it all go. Well, sometimes that don't fucking work that way.
Yep.
So there's things that you can read online on forums, or any, you can watch it in videos and see people in comments and be like, yeah, I should try that. The most simple, routine, boring, shitty fucking thing is probably the best one to do. That's at least what I've learned. So I just stay consistent with all those things that I had said, and just keep killing it. The water will leave, the fat will leave. But good stuff. Other than that, I think we're good. Does anybody else comments, questions?
No, I just want to say congrats to everybody, you know, who completed those 8 weeks, you know.
Yeah, awesome stuff, guys.
You know, something that not a lot of people can accomplish.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we've had people drop out obviously throughout it, but the people that have stuck through it, It is awesome to see. There are people that have made incredible transformations. We've gotten crazy great feedback from everybody about these webinars. People that can't be able to watch them live and then be able to go back and watch them, the recorded version. So it is awesome. Thank you guys for being such a huge part of this, all the webinars. It's awesome. So gentlemen, thank you very much for all of it. People love it.
Yeah, thanks for doing it, man.
Our
This was
pleasure.
awesome.
Yeah, man.
But other than that, everybody, do not fuck up until check-ins. Don't do anything dumb. Do your cardio, eat your food, take great pictures. Be very, very proud of yourselves. You all should be very proud of yourselves of sticking through this and continuing it after this. Do not stop. Continue to do this after this. Routine, functional, fuckable, looking great. Keep it all in life. I love it. All right, everybody. We will see you later. Thank you.
See you guys later.